lovely people. Today I want to talk about protection magic and my contradicting viewpoints on it, because my goodness. Grab a little cup of coffee, as always. It's always better when there's coffee. But okay, so Panta Ray made this really great video. Put the link down below, which is titled, I believe, Protection Magic, I'm Just Not That Into You. And when I was watching the video, I was like, oh my god, there's so much of this that really brings up a lot of things to me when it comes to protection magic. Especially something when I just entered the craft about in July. The whole idea of protection magic and using protection magic, and it's really hard for me to differentiate when protection magic is one necessary, if it's useful, and at what point am I using it to my detriment, if that makes sense. There are definitely times where, as I've said in previous videos, fears in witchcraft, scary shit in witchcraft, stuff like that. So protection magic in general for me has kind of felt like this idea of, in some ways, where I can be inviting ill into my life by just the mere fact that I believe I need protection. It's how much do your thoughts create your reality, or your intentions set your reality, or invite energies into your life. Kind of on the new age side of things. If you're of that vibration in a way. There are a lot of things about new age stuff that I really vibe with. Other things where I'm like, not so much. So I'm kind of like a weird mix of new agey paganism mixed in. But on that side of things, it's you invite. Sometimes there's ill that you can invite into your life by thinking, I'm going to fail. You will fail by assuming you need the thing. You will then need the thing, whether that's a chocolate bar or to use your credit card instead of the finances that you can put aside type of deal, things of that nature. Protection magic, for me, becomes a problem of, one, I don't think you need it all the time. There was definitely something what didn't vibe with me with casting a circle every time I did any sort of spell, because I was like, why do I need protection when I'm inviting money into my life? If anything, I want, all the money. It felt like a weird barrier. It felt like an accessory thing that I didn't really feel the need to do. But when I started doing things like calling a certain spirit into the room, whether you believe spirits are their own entities or more of just a separate manifestation of fears and things that we deal with, more of something that comes from our own energy that we then deal with versus an outside entity that could enter, type of deal. Either way, they could both, I think whatever viewpoint you take, either way, a bad spirit or something could really fuck with you if you honestly believe it could. So here's the question. If I believe the spirit could fuck with me, then the spirit could fuck with me. But if I don't believe the spirit could fuck with me, does that mean it can't? Or is it kind of like it doesn't really matter how much you don't want to get mobbed or robbed as you walk down the dark street alley at night? You could still get robbed. You could do every protection thing in the world, but that could still come to happen to you. But is protection a preventative matter, or does protection magic, by the act of wanting protection magic and doing a spell, am I basically stating there's something scary out there that I need to protect myself from? Especially because magic is such a energy and high vibe or low vibe. It's a vibrational energy shifting cosmos mixy-mos thing. I definitely am on this weird fence with it, where sometimes I feel like, you know what, it feels I'm already kind of scared. I'm already kind of feeling that in my body, and I'm already feeling on edge, and that extra little bit of protection magic, I felt really fortified me in some ways. I did it on my Samhain spell. I felt it really, really helped. But then it also makes me wonder too about how much of it is me just inviting trouble into my life. Why do I need the protection magic in the first place? Is protection magic, going back to if you walk down a dark alley or you're walking home late at night, you could get robbed. Is protection magic the act of walking down the alley in the first place, or is it just the fact that if you would have taken another direction, not even acknowledged the alley, then you wouldn't have had a problem? Or is it no matter what, you have to walk down the dark alley, so you better have a freaking pocket knife with you just in case? That's kind of where I'm trying to come to terms with it in my mind about exactly what I really feel is possible, and what energies what am I doing with my own energy by putting out these spells, intentions, energies, what have you, all those things, into existence. By using that, does it really help me or hinder me? There are some witches out there, and pagans and anyone who does magic, I guess, who swear by protection magic. actually are extremely cautious about anyone doing, like, if you don't cast a circle, they're like, you're gonna fuck shit up, like, don't do that. Which of course gives me a little like, well, what am I gonna fuck up? But in other parts, I'm like, well, that didn't seem necessary. I have definitely not been of the, I had to learn to cast a circle my way to make it feel effective, one. But in other times, I literally just sat down and been like, all right, we're doing a spell now. And that's what's gonna happen. And some of it is time constraint. Another part of it is where I'm like, I don't feel the need for the protection magic. And I feel like if I did, it would basically be me putting a negative spin on something that doesn't have a negative spin already. So why? But is that me just being naive? Is that me going, whatever, and then at some point something's gonna short circuit or not? But putting it around my home or things of that nature, I never felt endangered in my neighborhood. Say, I of course always lock my door, but is that what it is? Is it locking your door because just in case? It's just a common sense type of thing to do? Or is it kind of like leaving the door open? Is it doing the opposite of what I hope it would do? Which definitely makes me have this weird conundrum about it. This is extremely rambly. I'm hoping y'all are making sense of kind of what I'm trying to say here, because it's definitely something that I've wrestled with as a new witch and really finding where does protection magic really fit into my craft and my path. Give me your opinions down below in the comments of how you use protection magic, when you think it's necessary, what it's useful for, what it's not. Are you as uncertain as I am with it, or are you a staunch believer and know you should be doing protection magic, you crazy woman? I do new videos every Wednesday and a Saturday. So if you like this, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye.